Hi everybody, Red Hill Eagle here, and this is episode 9 of AWA Revival. We're back on TV. It's a few nights now since the big action wrestling event. We're hosting this TV show. We're expected nearly 4,000 in attendance, but I've gone for 3,500 because there's not many around the 4,000 mark really. I'm not sure how to pronounce this. Sioux, is it French? Sui City Auditorium. We're there anyway, and I've already sort of put it together, so ready to just sort of go really. I won't take you through the entire thing now because we will obviously see it throughout the results. And we've got initially we have Eric Bischoff and John Tollis in the studio, just introducing the show and sort of hyping up a couple of the guys that are going to be on tonight's TV, including Bam Bam Bigelow, Tito Santana, Rick Martel, and Coco Beware. 32, not great, poor way to start the show. It's just it makes sense to start the show like this though, really, doesn't it, unfortunately? We then have a recap from Big Action Wrestling, where Nick Bockwinkel noticed Danny Davis leaving the arena after he lost out to a contract in a tag team match. The team involving Al Snow won, so Al Snow got the contract, Danny Davis didn't. But Nick Bockwinkel approached him and said he's got an idea. He likes what he sees from Danny Davis. A rating of 47. That is to say, it's just a recap from Big Action Wrestling. And the wrestling begins here with Al Snow taking on Steve Dahl, and he gets the victory in 10 minutes 11 by pinfall. Rating of 38. I mean, Al Snow's still down the card, so Steve Dahl. Didn't really expect too much more from this one. We then have Nick Bockwinkel. He's chatting. He's in his office and he's chatting away. He's chatting to somebody. It's someone with a familiar voice. But then he sees the door slightly ajar and he sees a camera, obviously the camera that we're looking through, and he gets up quickly and he just slams the door so no one can continue to listen to that conversation. It's an overall rating of 47. And a 51 rated match, Rick Martel takes on Wayne Bloom. Decent match, subpar wrestling. Rick Martel got the win in 10 minutes 30 by submission with the good old Boston Crab. King Kong Bundy then with his manager stroke kind of, he's not really the manager, but he's his guy. Bundy is kind of Nick Bockwinkel's guy. But it's a self-promo really, but he also talks trash on Bob Backlund. Overall rating there of 48. The Heavenly Bodies then take on Ricky Morton and Tommy Lane, and it's the Bodies that get the win in 6 minutes 52 when Tom Pritchard pinned Ricky Morton with a super kick. Tommy Lane was the weak link. These matches so far are just really, we're just kind of going through the motions at the moment. A couple of storylines are being dealt with. But yeah, this was just to get our one and only tag team match. We only have one tag team at the moment, which isn't great for our tag team division. But yeah, rating of 41 overall there. Then on the news desk, Ken Resnick introduces promos from Rick Rude, Ricky Steamboat, Paul Orndorff, Big John Studd, and Scott Hall. This was just to kind of get these guys on the card. There's a couple of our stars. And, we want to get the likes of Scott Hall over, so hopefully he's got a rub from that. But the rating was only 39, but it is what it is. Ken Shamrock then takes on Coco Beware. Haven't used Shamrock much. I'm always a bit weary that we could lose him at any time because of an MMA fight or whatever, but, I wouldn't mind getting him over to some extent. We also want to get Coco over, so it's a case here of getting him a victory. And he got it in 7 minutes 53 by a pinfall with a bird buster. 37 rating. They didn't click, actually. Made for an awkward bout. Post-match, John Nord came in to attack Coco. It didn't really go all his way. Coco kind of managed to get a foothold, but they did brawl to the back room area. This was just to get this storyline advanced a little bit and see what we can do about that. Rating of 32. Bam Bam Bigelow then takes on Tito Santana, and Bam Bam is certainly someone we want to get over. We're getting there with him, definitely, and 44 isn't completely terrible. I mean, it does say good heat, but subpar wrestling. Yeah, we seriously need to do something about that. But it was Bam Bam that got the win in 13 minutes 52 by pinfall with a diving headbutt after James Mitchell interfered. James Mitchell, of course, being Bam Bam's manager. This was just to get Bam Bam over, get Tito on the card. Rating of Fulce isn't too awful. Maybe you would have liked a little bit more. But yeah, this was just all about we're still getting Bam Bam over. Post-match, Bob Backlund pleads with the ref, saying Bam Bam cheated. But the referees, the decision's final. That's it. Bam Bam got the win. Rating of 34. So this isn't going to be a great score, is it? Far from it. 43, yeah. Lost popularity in 6 regions. We're taking steps back before we take steps forward, and this seems to be a bit of a theme, unfortunately, with this particular save. But what I'm going to do next, we are going to book our next event, which is Showdown. So what have we got so far for Showdown then? We have King Kong Bundy against Von Erich. Hall will interfere. We've got Rick Martel against Orton, end that story. Bob Backlund over Bigelow by DQ. Rick Rude over someone by cheating. And then they perform a beatdown on whoever it is they beat. But Santana comes out and makes the save. And we've got Steamboat over Studs. So we need to be looking at who else do we have who hasn't yet been written down, who should be on the card. We're looking obviously at our stars. Terry Funk, yes. But he's definitely of that age where we want to be, he can be putting people over. So preferably a heel then, who we want to get over. A possibility of Scott Hall. Possibility. Let's have a look. Let's see if Terry Funk will agree to lose against Scott Hall. Where are you? Terry Funk, talk to worker, career, no booking, lose at an event to Scott Hall. Extremely unhappy. Let's try to put him over then. Would you agree to at least put him over? Not interested. Okay, because he's annoyed. I'm not in a position to give him a bonus or anything. Alright, well let's forget the Scott Hall one. Where is Scott Hall? He's recognisable. Yeah, that might be it. Maybe then. Yeah, we're struggling really for people to... I mean, we don't have to... He doesn't have to lose. He doesn't have to job. I mean, maybe he can lose to Billy Jack Haynes. Let's do that. I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to have Haynes over Funk cheating post-match. Okay, post-match. Backlund, what should we say? Pleads to ref. And what I mean by that is, and I'll obviously describe it a bit more when we come to book it, is that Backlund will come out and he'll say, ref, Haynes cheated, he did this, blah, blah, blah. Referee are kind of, I've made my decision, I didn't see it, Haynes wins the match. Haynes obviously gets angry at Backlund. This continues their story. Right, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 matches. Probably another 2 or 3. Bam Bam Bigelow, yes, he's on the card. Who's Rick Rude going to beat? He needs to beat a face. It doesn't have to be anyone big. It could even be someone like Dan Severn. Although I wouldn't mind getting Dan Severn over a little bit. So perhaps... Well, I don't think it's going to matter too much. You might get a bit of a rub from Rick Rude. Yeah, okay. So Rude over 7. And then, so it'll be Rude beats down 7. Okay. else then? Who else are we? Big John Studd is on the card, loses to Steamboat. Orton's on the card. Coco Beware we would like to get over. It doesn't have to be anyone higher than him. That's the best way to get people over, but it doesn't have to happen like that every time. Maybe he could just beat someone like Buddy Lee Parker. Don't even know if I've used him yet, have I? We'll do that. Coco over Parker. That's it. That'll do. There was someone else. Al Snow needs to be on the card, really, because he's now won his contract. So we'll have Al Snow against... Do you know what? We need some more jobbers. How about Steve Dole? I mean, we haven't booked any tag team matches yet. I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's team Snow with Nord. Snow and Nord. And they will go over the Guerreros. Yeah. Guerreros. Okay, my handwriting's awful. You probably can't even read that. So now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's go for one more match. Preferably another tag team match, but we don't really have the people for it at the moment. Unless we could go Orndorff and Hall. Orndorff and Hall. Yeah, because we want to get Hall over. Team in with another face. So we'll get Orndorff. Hang on. Orndorff. Yeah, he's a heel. Orndorff and Hall over Tommy Lane. I'm sure he's in a tag team, isn't he? But I can't think who with. Tommy Lane. Is it Stan Lane? So I'm Stan Lane or Steve Dole, isn't it? I didn't want that. No, he's not. Okay, so Tommy Lane over Tommy Lane. And so another face then. Can't be Danny Davis. Because he's kayfabe, not got a contract. I'll go Steve Dole. Tommy Lane and Steve Dole. Okay, so that completes our showdown event card. We've also got a quick email to look at here. Greg Garnier opinion. Big John Studd can't sell anything. Well, it's just said to put people over now, so that's fine. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. Another shortish one. I've got 3 more TV shows until our next event, which is, as you know, we've just been booking Showdown. So please like and subscribe if you've enjoyed it, and I will see you all again soon. Take care, everybody. Goodbye.